Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. With the new generation of game consoles on the horizon, that's left some people wondering what the long-term plan is for Rainbow Six Siege going forward. Well, now the development team has officially given their response for what Siege is going to look like with the plan for the next Xbox and PS5, as well as what that means for those of us on the current generation of consoles. We'll go over all the information next. Now, it's common knowledge that Ubisoft has long-term plans for Rainbow Six Siege. They announced a while back that they intended to have the game go anywhere from 50 to 100 operators, and we're kind of right around that mid-mark right now. So if they want to double that and get all the way up to the 100 operators, it was estimated that the game would have to have pretty much like a 10-year service lifetime. That is a long time for a game to be around. And the question started surfacing as Sony and Microsoft both started leaking specs on the next generation of consoles coming soon. What would happen to that long-term life cycle on consoles if the current generation was going to be phased out in favor of new hardware? This isn't simply a respecking of the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro that were just simply upgraded iterations on the current generation. So then the question becomes, if you're looking at a 10-year plan for the life cycle of the game, but we're not even halfway through and now we're looking at pretty soon phasing out those current generation of consoles, what happens? Well, now we've got some official answers. Ubisoft has doubled down on their stance, saying they still do not plan on making Siege 2 even when the next PlayStation and Xbox consoles launch. In an interview with the Daily Star, Rainbow Six brand manager Alexander Remy said they do not want a sequel whatsoever. The reason behind this is that we don't want to segregate our community between the different platforms. In an ideal world, we'd love players from every platform to be able to play together. We are approaching next gen with the same spirit. It goes on to say Remy's comments indicate Ubisoft's opposition to both making a sequel and also its dream to make cross-play a reality, both across generations and within them, with PS4 players and Xbox One players able to play together with PC players. He elaborated, "We've been asking how we can make the player base of Siege today be able to migrate, if they want to migrate that is, but also make this cheaper than buying a new next-gen copy of the game, as much as possible or through backward compatibility. The strength of any multiplayer game is the size of its community, so I believe that we have to make every effort possible that when next-gen comes in, they are treated as high-end PC versus another PC. Remy does warn, however, that this is just a target Ubisoft is aiming for and that there's a long way to go before crossplay becomes a reality for Siege. Cross-platform play has become more common in the past couple of years, with Rocket League, Fortnite, and the upcoming Call of Duty all allowing players from different platforms to play together. So here we have official confirmation that Ubisoft will not be making a Rainbow Six Siege 2 with the new generation of consoles that are coming soon, but that they intend to have backward compatibility, and he said treating it as a high-end PC versus another PC. Now, we did see this a little bit already with the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. Those versions of Rainbow Six do run just a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother than the standard PS4 and Xbox One counterparts. But it's really just making it look a little nicer, a little better textures, a little more detail. You still get the same experience, and those players, even though they're getting maybe a more polished visual on one end of the spectrum, aren't separated from the other end of the spectrum in any way, shape, or form. And so building with Rainbow Six on PS5 and the next Xbox are going to do the same thing. Siege will be available on those new platforms, but it's going to be the same game, and you will be able to still play with the PS5 players and the PS4 players all together in the same pool. Same with the Xbox side of things. And they do have their eye on that cross-platform compatibility that other games have gone after. This is something that is a little bit more complicated and outside of Ubisoft's direct control. There's a lot of things that have to be negotiated between Sony and Microsoft and Ubisoft, so it's a little bit more complex that way, but it's something they're striving towards to be able to do. So you will be able to pick up Rainbow Six on these next-gen platforms, and the result is that you're going to have the exact same game experience, but you just might have, better visuals. So maybe the lighting is going to look a little richer, or the textures will be a little sharper, or some things like that. Again, they made that comparison. It's like having the experience on a high-end PC versus a different PC. But we should absolutely, positively not be looking for a Siege 2 with the new next-gen consoles that will be coming. This is also interesting because it really does show that they're dedicated toward that 10-year life cycle of building up to 100 operators that they initially laid out. But I want to know what you guys think. Does this sound like an exciting prospect? Do you think that sustaining that 10-year lifespan and building up to 100 operators is actually viable? Do you think it would be better for them to have a completely reworked engine that could do more things than what the current engine limitations can allow them to do? Or is sustaining the current player base with the new player base significantly more important than any kind of improvements that can be made that way? What do you think about their crossplay intentions? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification icon so you're alerted as soon as new content becomes available. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.